Which one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best? 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 What's the second best? There is no second best.
Welcome into Discover Crypto, where we are all Stockholm Syndrome hostages of the cryptocurrency market. Then once again, the Chinese quant said down today. It has been bleeding today, but thankfully I got even more tether in my pocket. You better get in the Discord. We're going to trade our way out of this one. Welcome all to the show. I got my main man, my sidekick, my killer in Manila, Kelly Kellum.
I am the great Cornholio.
Hey,
we got to keep positive vibes today, man. You know?
Yes.
I mean, everybody was feeling like this. Everybody was feeling like this at $126,000. But now it's feeling like this because they're feeling a little bit crazy. And you're looking at TA and you feel like this because the market is like this, man. But there's some signs and signals.
That's right.
I'd like to talk to you all about your car insurance.
I love this chat. Positive vibes. Have you seen a clickbait? You're damn right. I have some of the finest clickbait this side of the Mississippi now.
Hey, but Max Payne, I mean, we're looking at the fastest velocity downturn with the complete evaporation of sentiment. And if you see Max Fear, you're like, can it get any worse? This market has proven to be beyond the rationale level that anybody could have expected. So we got a lot to dive in today.
Yes, and I'm excited for it. I'm happy to be alive, enjoying the sunshine now. If you were in our Discord, oh, there's the pooch too, keeping us company here. If you're in the Discord, you caught the short signal from this zone down to here, made a good move on there. And then also I put another short up in at 27.9, closed it right at about this RSI here. I did those over on VDEX and Blowfin. And I am gathering points for, I'm checking out this decentralized exchange, VDEX as well. I'm gathering points, just clipping trades quickly. But the pain is across the industry, folks. We have Lead and Guts, but 00 on its way back up. Very, very interesting. Bitcoin Cash up by 7%. Aster's up by 6%. Ethereum Coke Classic up by 1.1 or 1.4%. But there is blood and mayhem all over the place. We got Dash, Zcash, Hyperliquid, Neo Protocol, Optimism, Starknet, Aptos, Mantle, the list goes on. And you know what? The one that interests me there's two of them that interest me for deals. Morpho and Betensor. Morpho and Betensor. Now, Betensor, I'm a greedy entry point person. I want to get this thing as close to $200 a piece as I can get. Another one I am tracking is Sui. Now, Sui has been on a violent return back to home. And when I look at the TVL, things are looking a little grim, okay? But talking to Justin this morning, Justin had a really, really good piece of insight for me. And it was, we look at Sui right now the same way that we looked at Solana a while back. And if you look at Solana's overall time frame, a lot of people gave up on Solana here, and psychos that believed in the protocol were picking it up at like $10-20 a piece. Now it's crashed down to $129. Sui, I think, has more downside. I think TVL will go down here to the $500 million zone, but that would be a pretty damn good entry point for me. And what do you think about that comment? Not a single person IRL around me holds crypto right now.
Well, it's a reminder of what's happening in the market, and we forget how small of a bubble we live in, especially like here in the Discover Crypto family, whether you're on X Spaces, if you're trouncing around, even if this is your first time on this channel on crypto Twitter, there's bubbles, and we're definitely in a bubble, and we think, you know, we think about stuff by way of being involved with Bitcoin and any sort of crypto. I mean, I think everybody could agree that almost all of you weren't considering what was going on with what was going on with the Fed interest, FOMC, and oh my God, yeah, when's the first time you heard Japanese yen carry trade? Was it before or after you got in crypto? When you're thinking about global liquidity, when you're thinking about business cycles, and then furthermore, all these things are stuff that are people that are focused on assets are considering, and we think the world is awake to this. And then you talk to 45-year family members, and maybe one of them is on the edge of getting in, maybe one has gotten in, but the majority of people, I mean, this is a very niche emerging asset class, which also means it's a lot easier to push around. And these swings and volatility from speculation really do take hold and shake the core out of the tourists that are here.
You covered a lot of that on the space last night too, which I do want to highlight here. So make sure to follow me at Druth Crypto, as you know, but also Kelly at Kelly Kellum. He's hosting these Thursday Bitcoin deep dives with some great macroeconomic outlooks, some really good on-chain analysts, and a very broad stroke but needed to hear conversation about where Bitcoin is right now. So I do see this comment too. Cheat Potion Maker. Personally feel like we're about to witness the most hated mega rally, eventually with so many sold out hating the rally. Kelly, that's kind of my thesis right now. I definitely agree with Cheat Potion. Like, you have an incredible chart that you put together about the RSIs and where they've been pushed down right now. But I think people aren't taking this velocity of downturn seriously enough. So let's go ahead and bring this up actually and check this out. Just go over this for the family at home so we can understand what we're looking at here.
All right, we got 3 dots. Okay, we're gonna play red light, yellow light, green light. And what we have seen here on the strength, this is how strong basically the underlying activity is in the market: buying pressure, selling pressure, so on and so forth activity. So relative strength index, that's what the RSI stands for. It does not stand for oversold and overbought. That's some metric that we put onto that, we've ascribed. This is weaker. This is a Bitcoin 3-day chart. Bitcoin's price action and strength level, the correlation between those, we are the weakest point we've been since more so even than we saw the COVID dump. This is weaker market activity with the price at $85,000. We are weaker here than we were back here when the price crashed from about $10,000 down to $3,500. This is also weaker than we saw during the FTX collapse. And this, case in point, what I really want to focus on in the price action today, could we go lower? Absolutely. We've seen that happen. However, you do not sell lower than you bought, especially when you're looking at right now. We are at the peak fear that we've seen in this cycle, extreme levels of fear. And you can see it also on this metric. You don't sell at peak fear and peak weakness, because what tends to happen in these zones, we've seen this. This is peak fear, on this zone right here. I think you can see my mouse. That we got a large move out. Peak fear right here, large move out. The question everybody's having is this a bull or bear market? Fine, have that question. But even in a bear market, what you see in these price activities, what you see regularly is even in a bear market, let's look at this. Peak fear, bounce out. Peak fear, small bounce, but look, 28,000 up to 31,000. The question you have to ask yourself is, are you selling at the absolute worst time to sell, whether you're in a bull run or a bear market, either one? Or do you want to wait to see what happens with the bounce that will come, whether it's here, whether it's when we hit 74,000, but you don't sell in peak fear.
Yeah, that's good advice. Very, very good advice. And also good reminder to Nick Dunn, where you at? Don't forget about the giveaway. Let's get into it, because I am giving away something really, really awesome. So this is from my wife. Okay, so this is a Bitcoin stocking. She made this by hand. She's making them by hand out of our sewing shop. And maybe it's only going to be coal that you can put inside the Bitcoin stocking because of how the market's just turned over.
But let me ask you, Drew.
Yeah.
She's making that in the sewing shop. Mm-hmm. Bitcoin stockings. What paid for the sewing shop?
ICP. ICP.
Crypto products are made out of a sewing shop that was made from taking profits in crypto.
Yes, absolutely. And so, and when I took those profits, I was, everyone told me I was a fool, but, but these are beautiful. Look at these. So really, really nice material. We're going to do the giveaway now. So I'm going to get this out of the way. And we did the, oh, I pressed the wrong button here. So here it is. Let's pull up my screen. And then how many reposts do we have? So I'm going to give this one final refresh. Let's see here. So we got 70 reposts, right? 70 reposts. So let's go view the quotes, view the reposts. So we have 70 people on this list to choose from. And so I'm going to go over here and we're going to type in, I'm going to go to the random number generator, 70. And let's pick a winner here.
Wait, we got to set it beforehand. Are we counting starting with quotes or starting with retweets and counting into quotes?
This counts all of them.
Yeah, I know. Then we're gonna have to go and count on the tweet side where that number starts from.
Oh, we can't just do this one, the 70 view quotes. Well, because we got Matthew, we got Jers, so we got like 8 quotes.
Right. So we starting with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the first quote from just a general retweet or the quote tweet?
Now it counts the quoted retweets in this reposts section. So Jers did a quote repost, but it's also counted in the repost section.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So if we just look at just the repost list, this will include all quotes, all just basic repost. Okay. So we're going to do this. I'm going to put in 70 and we are going to generate a number here. Let's see who's going to win this. Number 12.
Oh, that's going to be easy to count.
Yeah, that's going to be easy to count. So let's go over here. Bam. Who is number 12 on the list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Daddy up. You got it. Let's go here. So I'm going to follow you back. I'm going to get after it here. You won. All right. I'm going to message him right now that you won. I'm going to send them a message right now. You won the free stocking. Now, if he's not in the U.S., let's see. I'm going to make sure he's in the U.S., but I mean, I'm sure we'll cover it even if he's not. Are you in the U.S.? All right, there we go. All right, we won. Good job, and thank you for supporting my wife in this endeavor. I love seeing her out there working in the sewing shop with a sewing shop we bought with ICP profits. So, and hopefully we're able to do our shopping sprees on Christmas a little bit early. I have done the shopping spree a little bit early. I'm going to be buying some more workout gear. I'm kind of getting completely addicted to, oh, snap, you're in South Carolina, man. You're really close to us. There you are. All right. Hell yeah. There you go, Daddy. You're in the show. Good to see you, bro. All right. Now let's get into the rest of this. Let's get into the rest.
They like to call it South Kakalaki.
South Kakalaki. Very nice. So Tom Crown was talking about how bad down we are. So the McRib pump didn't work out. This is from McDonald's. Your rent money got McLiquidated. Crypto bros need not apply. Your decision making is compromised. So,
but you know what it's done. You know what it's done, dude. It is provided the opportunity, complimentary, mind you, for all you holders to enjoy complimentary red light therapy. So,
hey, that stuff works. That stuff absolutely works. Every night, my wife is she's roasting her face under red light therapy, and my wife's a very, very healthy person. So there's something to it there. Absolutely. And you know, the real pain, yes, Bitcoin's pulling back a little bit. The real pains in altcoins, these are XRP holders falling off of their $3 shelf. Down they go.
But to be fair, that feels like you could put any ticker holder there. That's anybody.
Yeah. Like XRP down to $1.95. We got Solana down to 128. BNB 825. I wouldn't be surprised to see BNB return back to $650 right in this zone. I would not be surprised at all to see that. So the pain is across the board, and not just Bitcoin. You know, though it has been a very, very crazy thing to watch Bitcoin fall like this monthly candle shows, there is a lot of pain being had. This is why I emphasize the importance of, please, for the love of God, figure out crypto in terms of DeFi. Get in our Discord if you want to trade. This is the time to stack Tether and buy cheap crypto.
Dude, the quant we have in the Discord, they're looking at stuff that I've never had any participation in even knowing existed. Because I'll see a trade that he's posting. I'm like, I would never take that trade. And I'm like, I'm going to listen to this quant. I take the trade, 15 minutes, bam, up 20%. It's just, they're looking at stuff that we would have never even been aware of. So it's good to have your own strategy, but it's also good to utilize tools that these major players are basically utilizing as well, which is, deep access to order book, order flow, capital, all these things beyond just looking at the MACD and RSI and your falling wedge pattern that's going to break out. It's 72.3%.
It's almost like the old school trading methods that these robots got trained how we were using now are being used against traders who just can't break out of that paradigm. So just a definite thing to keep in mind. And the world might end if NVIDIA falls. NVIDIA's founder, Jensen Huang, says that the whole world would have fallen apart if NVIDIA missed its earnings expectations. Sounds super safe, right? This is where, NVIDIA, $5 trillion market cap. What is the stock looking like today?
This is where their earnings came in. They opened up here that same day. Psych bitches, took an 8% drop. That 8% drop doesn't seem like a lot, but an 8% drop on a $4.5 trillion company is a larger drop than the entire market cap of the altcoins.
Right. Absolutely. And now the consolidation of the S&P 500 into the Mag 7 is a deeper concentration than we've ever seen in American history. In our entire market's history, the Wall Street has never been more concentrated than it is right now. Absolutely crazy. So thinking about that.
It's at a critical juncture too. It's pulled all the way back. And I drew this line about 2 weeks ago. It's pulled back down to this previous range high, but the meat of the liquidity isn't this line. That's one candle. The meat of the liquidity is through here, which is a pretty, it's a pretty decent drop. Let's see what that is. It's still that would be an additional 4% down into the zone, which would be pretty major.
Yeah. And the banks that are connected to this AI hype cycle are not immune to this. SoftBank is at risk. So this is Coinbase Duck highlighting originally the start of AI weakness on November 4th. This is something he called out previously. The start of AI weakness will be shown on the SoftBank chart. Alpha is always somewhere else. Now, this is at the time SoftBank was just ripping. Why would he think that this isn't, going to go up and to the right? Puts up his next update, and now, Lord love a duck, SoftBank is falling drastically. And so there is some sort of internal intrinsic weakness with the AI bubble that is showing. Is it short-lived? Maybe, but we also have pressures from Japan. They're entering a stimulus package deal that will have an overall economic impact of $265 billion. The Japanese yen fell to its weakest level against the US dollar since January 2025. Pandemic-like stimulus on the way. Now, the problem is the stimulus going to be going into the risk market, or is it going to be patching up holes in this right here, right? That's the big question here, Kelly. Another thing can you bring up the DXY? Because remember, we were looking at the DXY and it was developing that W pattern, and I was worried it was going to pump from that W pattern. Where's the DXY?
It's at a absolutely critical juncture. This is a daily, but let's zoom out on this. What is this line? What is this line? Well, turns out the one below us, this is an 18-year trend line, 18-year support. And it did bounce off that beautiful W pattern. And now we have this downtrend resistance that goes back to October 2022, rejection, support. And here we are again. Look at that price action. It is sitting I mean, it's struggle busing right now. This would be not good if this breaks out and starts making even if it's a false break. I don't want to call it false, but a move like this. I mean, look at how much time this took. This is 157 days, basically half a year. So if this does break out, I'm not saying it's gonna be another half a year, but as bullish as I want to be, and I still am on the macro. And by the way, check out the video that's coming out Sunday. It's really breaking down what's going on right now, some cautionary things, but why I think there's a major trap underway. Because if this does break out from here, this would further substantiate that idea that we may be having a lot of trouble in risk markets, which is crypto specifically and stock. Probably in through at least the end of January, maybe even the end of February.
Right.
So we're kind of at a critical juncture with the dollar kind of sniffing that out right now.
A few months back or a month ago when me and you looked at this, you had the option of up or down. It does not seem that it's choosing the down path. It seems like it wants to pump out of that triangle and then do a vibe check on that trend line. That's kind of what I see. So, I don't think the beatings have come to a close. And really, in this market, there are many, many people that are trading trades with old school methods. Maki brother got fully liquidated. His account is down to $15,000 and his total losses exceed $20 million. He really needs to get in our Discord. He needs his own Chinese quant. This is how we survive. Very, very thankful for our Discord. So now we look at the liquidation heat map here. It's never been this skewed. There have quite literally been 99% of investors destroyed that were long in any way, shape, or form. Leverage traders or holders. This is a wipeout to the level that has never been witnessed before. Right now, $400 million in long liquidations, $12 billion in short liquidations to be had. And the only way up, and that is only up to $103,000. So if we get a fake pump and a failed dead cat bounce from this $80,000 spot, that's going to wipe out $12 billion, which is a lot of money. There's 30 times the amount of shorts than longs right now. Absolutely insane. I mean, this is, we really need to take a gander at this. So this side is who's long, and then this side is who's short right now. Massively skewed metrics. And this is where, like you said it this morning, it's like, I wouldn't, like, we're looking at these range lows and we're like, we're getting another short signal. This is sketchy. It's not something I would be doing, but we've been taking the trades. I've had 3 or 4 days in a row of multiple 50% trades, a lot of new tether, a lot of new buying power. So I do emphasize, you guys, please, for the love of God, just go check it out. Start small, save yourself. Okay, that's absolutely something I feel very, very strongly about right now. Realized losses are going nuts. Look at this. So realized losses on Bitcoin have surged to levels that were last seen during the FTX collapse. Short-term holders driving the bulk of capitulation. Do you think the tourists are completely shaken out by now, though, Kelly? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I don't. What's interesting to me, though, is that metric they showed on the Discover Crypto morning show, which is the prices. And I talked about this 2 weeks ago, watching the cost basis, which means the average price of every position taken for the ETF. Like in the average ETF cost basis, if you look at the price of Bitcoin during every purchase of the representative stock that bought the Bitcoin, that average price, it sits around 79,500, basically $80,000. And price is now testing that, which is going to be interesting now to watch the sort of Bitcoin tangential players, these people that have bought proxies, how many institutional, retail, mom and pop, et cetera, that have waited for the ETF that are now really kind of enduring, riding under the price that they bought. Are we going to see a capitulation really come in that sort? Because, there's tens of billions. I think it's like $200 billion or something ridiculous now of money that's in the ETF. So if we do see a swing on those, then it's going to be bad. But it's nice to see that a big portion of the ETF money that's come in has been a huge amount of institutional money buying exposure through the ETF. So that it's kind of
it's a mixed
we're
bag.
living in the upside down.
It's a mixed bag for sure. Now we got BlackRock sending another 4,198 Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime once again.
Dude, remember what I showed you this morning? We don't need to read this whole thing,
Okay.
but it's not you. Every one of you out there, you think you're struggling with the market. BlackRock has a fund, an investment fund. I'll tell you TLDR on this. They called all their people and said, hey man, we're gonna waive your fee because we ain't making no freaking money, man. We don't know what that. So the biggest players on the planet have investment strategies that they're going, I don't know what the hell is going on. So it's not you alone. You didn't buy and it dropped, and you didn't sell and it went up. The biggest players in the world right now are going, I don't know what the.
Oh, hold on. You can say it. Go say it.
I don't know what the.
All right, there we go. Yeah. So, and someone's asking where's the Discord link? Here's the Discord link. It is free to get in. You just got to sign up through Blowfin, trade through Blowfin, keep our quant happy, and we are gonna print our way out of this situation with a lot more tether. And the exciting part is, as the price of Bitcoin goes down, we can earn tether and buy cheaper Bitcoin along the way down. So I learned how to trade next to Frankie Candles, who in my opinion is one of the best traders out there. And that's how he did it. What you got, Kel?
Well, a reminder, and I'm not trying to be bullish. It's literally just a reminder of what's going on in the market. When we saw 2017 crash, actually the run from $200 actually all the way up to about 20,000. And you know what? Bitcoin was down almost 60% on Thanksgiving. And yet December's peak only a few weeks later was the market cycle high. So will we get that? It doesn't look like we're going to get that this time around. We could, but the liquidity conditions as it stands right now and the constrictions on risk suggest it's far from likely we're going to get a new all-time high into the end of the year. But the point here is things move very quickly, and all of this can be resolved if they come up with the new continuing resolution, aka the can kick to January 30th is sorted before them, because it could be. It doesn't have to go to that deadline. Then I think we see the spigots turn back on. If we have to wait all the way till then and then a potential another government shutdown, it's not until we get a new continuing resolution that gives clarity for beyond, several quarters, aka about a year is how long they do those. It's about how long they do CRs, right?
Yeah. It is.
So,
and I like this really, in my opinion, I feel like it is going to be a shorter bear market. Like my thoughts are kind of echoed by Coinbase Duck, which gives me some great confluence. I feel like this is a Coinbase insider or something. If the bear market hasn't already started, this is just a correction. We are close to a decent bounce here. If we are headed to a bear market, we are over halfway there already. Time to join me in the pump. I'm ready. Now, current Bitcoin correction, he highlights here, negative 30% to Crypto Hotep. This has been the bottom type correction percentage in the past. And I highlighted this. Each one of these were like 30, 32% rock backs. Now, I have my own personal opinion about this, and I think it's fair for me to share this. And I'm standing on my business on this. So I'm just going to kind of shoot straight with you on what I think is going to happen here, guys. So we'll go to a weekly time frame on Bitcoin. And these microcipher signals basically have shown me no alpha for the last 3 or 4 months. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that because they don't mean anything right now. But they're great in these type environments, not so great as we roll over. So where I think we are headed is about $68,000-$70,000. I think that there's a likelihood of a good dead cat bounce within the guts of this zone right here. There's a lot of volume that happened between $80,000 to $85,000, which could absolutely create a trampoline type movement, and we could get a dead cat bounce, and then bam. This is actually what I think is going to go down. And in this environment, it's okay to sit on your hands if you have that wisdom to know all of these assets across the planet are going to zero against Bitcoin. crypto is going to crash. This is I'm guilty as charged. Like on this space last night, everyone's like, I don't trade and I get wrecked trading. Like I love trading. I absolutely love trading, and it's kept me very active, very profitable all along the way to this point that we're at right now. Now, my last most profitable zone was when we hit this $75,000 mark, and I was able to long with Confluence, feeling like there was still time in the bull market. Now, what I'm essentially doing, I just invert the chart. Okay, my brain is trained to look for upside and to the right side, and so I flip it. And what I see is running into turbulence here, fake little bounce, bam, zip right there. And then I do feel like this zone right here is going to be rock solid support for Bitcoin. So that is what I essentially think is going to go down. Dude, Frankie Cannell, we talk to him all the time. Doesn't he watch your dog? Isn't Frankie
Yeah, he
watching
watches
your
my
dog?
dog periodically. But I wanted to talk about your the movement down to that level, and people just don't think it's going to happen, or they're worried. The truth is, everybody says the sellers are exhausted. Well, this is the sellers. This is the sellers right now. Every time you think it's got to find a bottom, what kills me is the guy that does the backflip, like right in the middle of them. It's like right here. Hold on, you ready? Boom, 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 and let's go.
Oh my God. That is what it feels like though, right? And aren't we so lucky to have Wall Street here? We exposed it on this channel that the buys are OTC. You don't get the upside from the ETF buys, but the sells, they're on the market. So you get that shotgun shell to the downside. Aren't we so lucky to have Wall Street here with us? It's been a joy. Now, this is something kind of crazy. I think my pops is bringing this up. I'm going to get Frankie back on the stream. He's always busy doing his stuff, but I'm going to get him back. Don't you worry about that. Now, Shanaka, Wall Street just banned Bitcoin companies from the stock market. January 15th, 2026, he says to mark it down. Strategy, he's saying, is going to get deleted from every major index on January 15th. $9 billion in forced sells follow automatically the biggest financial exile in human history, in modern history, happens in 55 days, and almost no one knows what's coming. Here's what he's talking about. So Michael Saylor spent 5 years building a machine, buying Bitcoin with shareholder money. Stock prices go up, raise more money, buy more Bitcoin, repeat. It did work flawlessly. Strategy accumulated 649,000 Bitcoin, worth $57 billion today. They became the largest corporate Bitcoin holder on planet Earth. And Shanaka's thinking that the machine just broke. MSCI's rule is simple. When the cryptocurrency exceeds 50% of your assets, you're not a company, you're a fund. So there's some interesting difference here. Strategy at 77%. They crossed the line months ago. On January 15th, every pension fund and index tracker that owns Strategy and the stock must sell, not because they want to, but because the index forces them to. Algorithms do not negotiate. The premium is already dead. Strategy used to trade 2.5 times the value in Bitcoin. That premium let Saylor raise $20 extra billion. Now it trades at 1.1 times. The market already priced in the funeral. 5-year experiment where companies could disguise Bitcoin buying as corporate strategy just ended. Wall Street drew a permanent line, and Bitcoin is its own asset class right now.
Drew, we're boring the shit out of everybody. What is this saying? What's the TLDR, and what's the outcome?
I don't think that we should be bored, because we're talking about something that absolutely can punch Bitcoin's price into the guts of this zone here. So the strategy concerns, I think that if he is going to be at 77% Bitcoin, that's one thing that could be delisted and get that shotgun shell to the downside. But the hyperbole here is when people are saying that the debt is going to be forced to be paid early. This is from Financial Law, and the claim is essentially not accurate. There is no provision in Strategy's convertible note terms that allows holders to execute or force repurchases and redemptions. And this is something that we need to take into account. I really don't feel like, this is that boring to me, because this creates the storm that can absolutely punch us into the guts of this zone, where I do think price will hold up. And I do think that there is a buy wall there, very strong at $65,000. I think it's going to be the line in the sand for us. But this shakeup coming in January could absolutely punch us in the guts down to that level. Shanaka's talking about a reset coming, and corporate treasuries that can hold Bitcoin as one asset among many, build your entire strategy around it, might be the problem. And Wall Street just showed you the exit door. So this is something that's on my mind. And really, I have to be very, very clear here. The best person in my entire trading history of telling me when to take profits, predicting things about people and about companies, is begging me to warn you about the implications of strategy. I know that there's a lot of padding and a lot of talk that it's all going to be okay, but I am implored to come out here and say these things to you, because this person is honestly the best trader I've ever fucking met. So, take it with a grain of salt. I have to say it, and maybe that scares some people. The idea of this unwinding excites the hell out of me, because I looked at these giant bags of Bitcoin as a systemic risk. I look at BlackRock holding the amount of Bitcoin they hold as a systemic risk. I look at strategy and being bought by BlackRock, State Street, and owned by those same small caps is a systemic risk. And I want Bitcoin to be for the people and not for Wall Street. And I hope they get the off my lawn immediately. So this is something that matters quite a bit to me. I know that price went up to a degree with ETFs, but a big pullback of this would create a generational buying opportunity for me once again.
I think it would have more of an impact on strategy. I don't think it would have that big of an impact on Bitcoin.
You think so? What is the strategy? Can you pull up the strategy chart, and can we kind of analyze that? Because I know it had a huge dump, but I haven't looked at the chart in a bit. And honestly, we should look at strategy chart and then coin and circle, because those things have pulled back huge.
So strategies back down to the level that if you're looking at Bitcoin, that 74K level, it's already there, right? In terms of the relationship of where the price was. Remember, in March of 2024, that set 74K top on Bitcoin. This is already there. This might be a leading signal for what we may see come to Bitcoin. But it kind of depends. I mean, we are seeing a softening of the RSI coming in here, that downward velocity. I mean, it's hard to give a judgment on what's going to happen next, but it's right in this very critical zone right in here. I think people will price in going into, is it January 15th? Is that what you said?
Yeah, January 15th.
So it'll be interesting to watch what happens with this going into there. Circle, on the other hand, is basically $11 above its listing price. It's done its complete round trip here, Jet 2 holiday.
I look at this as a buy. Like, I feel like Circle's going to be around. Like that chart on Circle makes me want to buy it. One more chart while we're on these subjects. Could we look at the Coinbase stock? Because I feel like Coinbase is going to be doing some really, really big things at the beginning of next year. Let's see. That's actually not that bad. Let me see here. We're at 244 right now. God, don't these usually break down those rising channels?
They do, but you also have rising channels that go into continuation. Yeah, I mean, RSI. Look, RSI here is the last time it was this low was here. Boom, on that massive bounce. The time before that, all the way back here.
Okay. Okay.
There's a lot of weakness across that board. And Ethereum's also taking a pretty big spill back into the green zone. Holy moly, what's ETH Bitcoin look like? I mean, it's trying to look at this, trying to hold up in that zone. That's why when you look at the Bitcoin dominance, surprisingly, this still looks like it's still breaking down. Money flow out, RSI down, way sub 50. I'd be cautious here to watch some sort of bounce on the dominance like that, or the actual move back up like this, which would be a death sentence to altcoins.
Yeah. You know, about the dominance pulling back, maybe the alt season we're actually going to get is Bitcoin dominance just drops with the price of Bitcoin as people ladder into stable coins, but dropping harder than Chainlink, and we just drop less than
Well,
Bitcoin.
here's the deal though, dude. Check it out. I mean, this is a wild thing is sorry.
Oh, sorry. Here, I'll undo it for you. There you go.
This is dominance minus tether. So
Oh,
dominance minus tether. It's not like stable coins are propping up the dominance anyway. Dominance minus tether, meaning you're not accounting for tether in the market caps. This is fallen quite a bit further. I mean, look, see, this is way up here. This is a low, way up here. This is minus stable coins. Boom. I mean, this is
right.
So,
that's a good chart. I'm glad you brought up that chart in specific. So this is not counting any of the stable coins that people are moving their Bitcoin into.
But if you need help, everybody, remember Bitcoin is at 13,224,000 Japanese yen. But we still got those high numbers.
This is huge. This is absolutely huge. Now, you know me, I got to cover my Chainlink stuff, and I'm actually, if you notice,
tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow's the day. Also, look at this. A Link Between Worlds. Chris Barrett shared this, The Legends of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. Are we talking Chainlink integration? Maybe a video game release involving Swift community and their 11,000 banks. Tomorrow, Swift goes live and goes into full action with ISO 20022 messaging standards. Now, this is happening on the 22nd of November. I did a video on Discover Crypto yesterday that highlights there is a given time frame where they could actually begin to implement CCIP, but the ISO standards brings better data, better compliance, and improved automation preparation, key to avoid the naked messages and operational delays. And this is from Swift themselves directly. Be prepared for the weekend. All Fin and Fin Plus users strongly advised not to send any messages from Saturday 15 GMT till Sunday 5 GMT, and check the Swift knowledge base for full details, troubleshooting guides, and contingency processing information. Now, this is a organization that sends the most amount of money anywhere on planet Earth. Now, there is another altcoin connected in with Chainlink in this consortium of words with Swift and Chainlink. And that project I've been buying, and I actually feel like I'm going to buy this thing all the way down in this bear market that we're looking at, is Linnea. Now, this thing is god awful on the charts. I think I got in at about 12.012. And let's see where at. So we're at 0.019. I mean, it has been zipping. My buy points were like right here. And I actually feel like buying a little bit more of this stuff today. You call me crazy, but I absolutely love investing in utility tokens that are standing the potential of being integrated with the largest payment processor on the planet, which is Swift. And those projects are Chainlink and Linnea. And what better time, Kelly, to roll out massive upgrades to the plumbing of the financial system while the things that are part of it look like this.
Oh,
right?
For sure. I mean, incredibly low market cap. And can I sidetrack you for a second? Just because We Drift Anything here has such a smart statement he's trying to slap me on, I think, a bit. And I have to take in USDC dominance also. Okay, dude, let's do it. Look, exactly the motherfucking same. Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you, boo. Well, you got us. It looks the same. That's actually kind of a good sign, though, that some money is staying in alts. That's actually a really, really good sign that some money is staying in alts. And really, as we look at the actual activation of messaging standards that include crypto to be able to be part of the party, what better time to roll it out as a World Bank, as a massive controller of all of the financial data and movements across the planet Earth? When the chart looks like this, no one's going to touch it. They're going to be completely blindsided by this. So,
whoa.
What's that?
It's got to look like that and have the pedigree of the type of people that are involved with it that Linnea does, and have the type of already astronomically important partnerships and integrations that they have already
Yeah.
on schedule.
I think we need to kind of clarify why I feel strongly about Linnea is because Joseph Lubin is a very egotistical, old school Ethereum founder slash whale. He's behind MetaMask. He's behind Consensus. He's behind some of the biggest mechanisms in crypto. And Linnea is the only layer 2 project. It's a layer 2 on Ethereum that's built to connect to Chainlink and give Swift the ability to move money from point A to point B. He's bald, which is bullish, as a veteran crypto points out as well. And this is why this risk bet for me makes sense, especially in this current environment. So some people call me crazy. Others will call me lucky after the cards end up falling and they realize what's happened. So Solana's hinting at something big. I better give him a follow here. Now, Radium is down here. Should I leak the alpha? Solana getting mad. Mr. T look back, he's about to slap him, right? This seems to be something involving a massive, massive DeFi ecosystem upgrade. I want us to look into this a little bit more. I really, really want to find out if this is a massive expansion of Solana DeFi. But in the realm of Solana DeFi, I have added to those positions as well with all the mechanisms that make staking possible on Solana. And those things I added, where are they at? Marinade, Camino, and Jito. So obviously I hold Solana, but I just bought a basket of these staking mechanisms as well to bolster out the account. Obviously the most adding that I'm doing right now is in Bitcoin 100%. Another thing that I was laughing about, let's just go look at Shiba Inu real quick, because coin market cap I think is glitching. So we go to Shiba and you pull up this chart. It doesn't look horribly bullish, but if you scroll down to the Shiba community, you have 85% bullish reading on community sentiment right now, a 15% bearish sentiment. Anyone new to crypto, please, for the love of God, do not use these metrics as your bellwether on whether a project is good or not. Like, I know it seems a little easy for us to understand, Kelly, but it's just something I wanted to highlight. I feel like there's always new people coming into crypto, and my job, I feel, is to protect people coming in. And we are at trying times, you guys. Most people quit because progress feels quiet. They don't realize the quiet moments are where you become undeniable. And this is from my buddies over at Suede Labs. This is where all that chaotic music that I've been making, I buy and create it with Solana, and I actually own all of the IP rights to all the music that I make on this protocol. So if you want to make music and dance to the rhythm of the markets going down, go have some fun. I'm having a hell of a time doing it. And on the political chaos side, we have the Supreme Court handing Trump the immigration equivalent of a nuclear button. In a 5-4 ruling, they confirmed that he can use the 1798 Alien Enemies Act to treat Tren de Aragua as it is what it is, an invading foreign force. This means that no more endless appeals, no more activist judges blocking the deportations, and the gang members can be rounded up and shipped straight to El Salvador's mega prison, a historic win for borders, sovereignty, and law and order in the U.S. The only people upset today about open borders are globalists who never thought this day would come, and people that were so used to having underpaid illegals that were off the
It
book.
fits there.
What's that? Yeah. pretty much. And the political spectrum's heating up. Like Ilhan Omar come in, none of this is normal. And Donald Trump talking about seditious behavior, punishable by death. And all these, he's retweeting, the Washington Examiners. And, this is Sparta, Elon of Minnesota. So welcome to Thunderdome. This is one aspect that I very, very much appreciate about what Trump has been doing. And honestly, if I am elected president, I would increase the movement within this regard. So that's just me. We didn't cover it on the show, but honestly, traffic looks pretty good in North Carolina right now. Traffic is looking pretty free and clear. So it's been a crazy week, Kelly. It's been a really, really crazy week. Where we're at right now, is down is probable, but long term is hope. We have a great partner on the channel, Bitcoin IRA. And for anyone that has the long term vision of Bitcoin, I do want to implore you to take a look at their website and call them at 877 936 7175. If you are as convicted as I am in the long term outlook of Bitcoin, this is a perfect place as the market has just absolutely taken a gush to go into the IRA while the asset prices, the profits are very low. Get inside the IRA, get inside the incentives of a tax environment that you get within an IRA and do your swaps within that protected environment. So I do implore you, go check them out. And Kelly, you do those spaces every Thursday night, right? With Chris Klein?
Yeah, Chris is in there, and we have a number of other guests. We have Gary Cardone pops in there, Grant Cardone, the Real Plan C, Fred Krueger's, a lot of absolute powerhouses. I bring in you, of course, and we talk. It's not talking meme coins. It's talking like macro alpha, and also in the near term fear, what real data signals are there. It's always a great conversation. We always have a couple thousand people tune in, and it's a great way to get some alpha on a Thursday night.
Absolutely. And I just, in this environment, like, take advantage of not having any technical profits on the books, right? Like, the chips are down right now. Honestly, I've been in crypto long enough where the profits are juicy and I'm feeling hilarious. And maybe there's something wrong with me for enjoying this pullback so much. Maybe I got to get my head examined a little bit. But it is a time frame where you can go into an IRA with very low profit levels. You pay the taxes on the way in, if there's any profits, and then on the way out.
Dude, what shocked me is when he brought up the fact that there's like $4 trillion in 401ks that have been for people that have left a company and they still have their money in that 401k with that company. Dude, carry your money with you into something you're fully controlling that you want. You can roll stuff into something like Bitcoin IRA if you're a day trader or just you want to trade periodically into it, like let's say every 3 months, and ride a bit of an altcoin wave and rotate those profits into Bitcoin. Then you're sheltering yourself in a tax advantaged way, so you're not paying those short-term capital gains. So it really is something I think a lot of people should look into. And it's not like you're limiting yourself because you want it all. You can day trade, and you should also have something in a long-term structure that also is tax advantage. So head over to bitcoinira.com. Give them a call, 1-877-936-7175. Let them know Kelly and Drew sent you, or Discover Crypto, and I think they're still doing they may still be doing the $1,000 bonus. But they will, they got people on the phones that will chat with you, and they've been around. This isn't like they just launched. They've been around since 2015.
We made a custom Bitcoin IRA stocking for them as well. We're sending to Chris. He got a Bitcoin IRA stocking. Super exciting. Thank you for supporting us, Bitcoin IRA, because having channel partners like this allows me to be brutally honest about all of the market. We have great partners that support us in this, and it allows me to roam free as an unbeholden man. If I can be holstered up by Arculus, by Bitcoin IRA, by soon I'm going to have a great exchange at it. But of course, Blowfin has had our back for years at this channel. It's a great exchange. I do implore you to support our channel partners so that I can continue to bring you absolute unfiltered alpha. Now, this is something that, who is the hater of the week? I haven't had many haters come through the chat here. Hold on. I haven't been able to ban anybody. This is terrible. Who is this? Where we go? Swift doesn't send money. Okay, this is retarded. Here you go.
You are banned!
What kind of fucking planet do some people live on? Where are you at in the chat? Someone find that one. Oh my God. Now this is nice to see. This is nice to see. So Giga, the meme of Giga has now been shared by the Department of Homeland Security. Dear criminal illegal aliens, we're gone. It's safe to come out. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So I actually kind of want to be a little bit chaotic right now. I want to look at the Giga chart. I'm going to the Giga chart. Okay. Because this thing dumped to like 0 and is trying to make a comeback hard. Let's see here. It's trying to make a comeback. You know why they're trying to? Let's go to the website. Let's see how the website looks. Because that price is, if there's any sort of resurgence on this, if this is one of the memes that's able to live, that would be an absolutely insane thing. And something that I do have to do is I have to buy some of their protein shakes. So Giga is rolling out freaking protein shakes. Where are they at? Yeah, supplements at Walmart. They're only available in vanilla, of course, but I'm gonna probably pick me up some of this. I absolutely I want to pick me up some of this. Yeah, Isaac's gonna come back being a beast. I'm actually really, really excited about that. I miss that son of a gun very, very much, but he's out there in boot camp getting attacked by his drill instructor. He's gonna come back an absolute savage. But this is a time where we must also be savages. We were just fine without BlackRock, without Wall Street, folks. We were absolutely fine without Wall Street and BlackRock. Now, where we're at right now is we've invited Wall Street into bed with us, and we are getting arbitraged at Wall Street levels. It's jarring some people out of the markets. It's giving me happiness and confluence to get all of these short-term, weak-handed pricks off of my crypto and Bitcoin lawn. I am very, very excited to see this chart on Bitcoin and where I think it's going. If we do continue down this ride, I'm going to be one happy little beaver, because then I can buy Bitcoin for $70,000. And honestly, I feel like buying it. I'm buying some today. I'll buy some tomorrow. I will buy some all the way down this road, because this is how we make generational wealth opportunities. As you all know, I was not forged in good times in crypto right here, chasing green candles. Where I started the channel with TJ and Blockchain Basement was here. While everyone was thinking we were going to 0, we went downstairs, we started up the Blockchain Basement, and we hammered in, okay? So this little scratch that we're experiencing right now, that's a big scratch. This little scratch, this little scritchy scritch right here, pathetic. What you got? I ain't hear no bell. This is pathetic. It's a dip for ants. I am not shaken out, nor should I feel like you should be. Just have some calm with yourself. And I apologize for yesterday. I got a little bit mean at people. But this is not a time for weakness. This is a time for strength. And this is a time for knowing where Bitcoin is going. And I feel full-heartedly that Bitcoin is going to hit $1 million within a decade from now. So I'm going to stack as much as I humanly can, especially in this weak-ass little pullback that we've had right now. So if you have that same conviction, smash the like. Let me know. 1 in chat, are you a buyer of Bitcoin at $70,000? 2 in chat if you're out of the market. 1 in chat if you're in. 2 in chat if you're out. I want to see who's in. I want to see who's going to ride into the Thunderdome with me and hammer back into Bitcoin at the previous range high. I want to know how many people are going to do it. Let me know. We got some ones. I got some 6 7s. Okay, 6 7. You know what? That's outlawed.
You are banned!
That's outlawed in some states. Son of a gun. Actually, I'm your son. Oh, I'm bringing my dad on the show. I'm absolutely bringing my dad on the show. War points out. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Buying everything. What's your analysis on Q4? All right. What's your analysis? All right. Let's answer this. So what is your analysis of Q4 of 2025 and Q1 of 2026? Obviously, Bitcoin is good to hold long term. I feel like I pretty concisely laid out this analysis for you there, buddy, but let's go back over it again. So a vibe check down to $79,000, $80,000 makes a hell of a lot of sense. But guess what? We just had that last night. $80,200 just happened. You know, if I keep getting short calls from my quant, we just down here, I'll be surprised. I think that's less likely than a dead cat bounce. A short squeeze, like Crypto Crank was actually talking about this as a likelihood over the course of the end of today into the weekend. We've seen the weekend pumps pretty consistently, and then things just end up dumping when Wall Street opens back up again. I think Q4 of 2025 is going to be painful. And I think it is going to fake people out, give them fake hope, and then vibe check those plates, those level 4 plates at $65,000, $70,000. I think it's going to hold up. That's me personally. Now, Q1, I think at the end of Q1, when we enter closer to that midterm election, when they have to release actual liquidity into the economy, get the economy kicking back over, get people happy about how things are going to try to win the election, I think that is the more likely scenario. So given that, I could see something because of how ferocious this velocity to the downside is. I think that, we do a couple little wobbles, come back, bam, set up a W, bam, bam. I think something like that is very, very likely for next year. So I love and appreciate every single one of you out there. Long at 74. No, I shorted Ethereum. I'm doing multiple scalp trades a day. Today was great. I made like $1,500 off a small bag. I was like $2,000, made $1,500. Get in the Discord. Okay. Get in the Discord. When these metrics don't mean anything to me, TJ just brought in a quant. It's like some algorithmic trading robot quant. And my human brain would be looking at this like, oh, we're going to bounce. But honestly, not really. Look at how rounded off this VWAP is. I mean, that looks ugly as all get out. The old, we don't short range lows concept that I was going into this with completely wiped off. And we are seeing constant puke pressure on Bitcoin. So please, for the love of God, join me in the Discord. Please, for the love of God. This is literally killing people. What happened? We invited BlackRock, right? We invited BlackRock, and now they're dumping. They're dumping on the open market. They're crushing the price, and then they're buying OTC, and we don't get the upside. So this is what we get for inviting small caps to the party. I love and appreciate every single one of you. It's going to be okay. Take a deep breath. Enjoy your family this weekend, and I will see you on the next episode.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.